why? Because your whole life you grew up and you was born and raised, went to school and did everything in Orlando. Yeah, you was born in New York. You might have you was born with the Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, whatever. When you came out of that womb, you smelled that New York air. But was you?
But you don't have the culture. You don't got the culture in the New York state of mind.
You wasn't in that New York state of mind.
This is how we take old from the new. Rap fabulous. With the real hip hop.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another pull up. We're calling this episode 2. We did one a couple of weeks ago, and I figured, we're going to pull up more often. But last week, I forgot what happened last week. Do you remember what happened last week? I couldn't do it, right? Or no, Lou.
Yeah, you got it.
Was it me?
No, yeah.
Y'all had birthdays. Y'all was too busy partying.
Oh, yeah, we had birthdays.
Lou did a part. You've done 2 parties, right?
No, I haven't done nothing yet. Parties this weekend.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's all month.
Only did one party. One party.
Where's the party at, though?
Oh, is that a spot called Connect in Astoria, Queens, in New York City?
All right, New York. So if you're in New York City, you got to go check out Lou for his birthday. Happy birthday, my dude. And we talked about it. We both had the same birthday, so that's important.
Shout out to the Aries. Aries season, big Aries.
And Pisces.
Aries/Pisces, but now we on to the Aries.
Yeah, we're in the middle of it. Big shout out to March 20th. Wait a minute, but Angel, were you a Capricorn?
I'm a Capricorn.
All right.
I'm the GOAT.
She starts it out. She starts the year off. Make
sure
you hit that subscribe button on Rap Fabulous. Make sure you follow us at Rap Fabulous. Follow Pretty Lou, Angel Face. We're going to talk about that. And also, if you are in New York, San Francisco, Orlando, St. Louis, I'm missing somebody. New Orleans. Did I say New Orleans?
No.
Oh, yeah. If you're in New Orleans, make sure you listen to the radio show. We'll talk about that. But anyway, this is going to be a quick pull-up because happy birthday to my daughter, Samari. She's 18 today that we're recording this, so I got to shout her out. She's 18 years old, and it just went by like that.
Nice. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. I wish I was 18.
She looked 18, though.
I wish I was 18. Life would be so great.
What are you talking about? I'm just 21.
Not a care in the world.
Nah, you still got that. You just don't think numbers. I never think numbers. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but 18 is great. That's like
man. I got a 21-year-old beard.
Welcome to the pull up. And this week, like I said, it's gonna be quick because I also have to jet out. There's a Air Max event. Shout out to Nike, who's a client on the 8th of tonight in the city. It's Air Max Day today. We're recording this, so I got to jet for that. And big shout out to Will at Nike for getting me on the invite. Lou, you got some sneakers. I saw you get some other sneakers last week.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my brother, Emery Jones.
What joints you got, Lou?
You got me. Oh, you got to go to the gram. You got to check it out, man.
I missed that. I usually see all your posts. I missed that.
Yeah. Oh, you missed everything because I'm also going viral, if you didn't know that as well. We posted up some funny, hilarious thing to promote a club, and it ended up turning viral.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Because we're going to jump into it to pull up, going to scan the gram. And the first one that I scanned, and I think it happened like a week ago, but we weren't on. And Peter Rosenberg, who I used to work with at Hot 97 back in the day with Ebro and the crew, I do want to bring this up because I think it's become a thing. Well, it was a thing everything happens fast, but this is something that Peter was talking about. I'm just going to run it real quick.
Like in real life, love that guy. But man, you born New Yorkers can be so weird about what it means to be, quote, from New York. Obviously, I say this to Nori, who's now lived in Miami for like 20 years. Meanwhile, I've lived in New York for the last 20 years, right? Live here in the city for the last 20 years. No plans to go anywhere. Have made my entire life about representing for underground and unrepresented artists from primarily New York and the tri-state area my entire time here. Gone hard. There's nothing more in New York than showing up to New York, telling people from New York you don't like their shit and standing on business. You know how many times I've gotten into it with artists from New York because they don't want to hear what I had to say? And that goes for Ebro too. It's incredibly New York to come here, stand on your business, be about it, not back down, and not run away. Meanwhile, you guys act as if no one great has ever come from outside New York and represented in New York. Like, what are we talking about? There are people not from New York who literally are what New York is all about. And there are some people from New York who are pure trash.
So you see where this is going, right? I'm not going to play the whole thing. Lou, you're from New York. Your thoughts. And I'll tell you from someone, I'm not from New York, but I've been here for 25 years and been in the street since I was 16, but would love to hear your point of view.
So, first of all, shout out to my brother Peter Rosenberg, because that is my bro, you know, and love him for life. But this is how I take it, right? Yes, I'm from New York. Do I feel like New York radio should be New Yorkers? Yes, I do feel that way. But in a way, he's kind of right, because there are some New Yorkers that can't finish the job, if you know what I mean. And if you got somebody who's not from New York, but they end up living in New York for a while, but could do the job, I salute them. I have no problems with that. You know, I don't have any problems when anybody who's from another state comes to New York, as long as you don't go out there and you like the youngins will say, you don't cap and I'm from New York. I'm from, I lived here 20 years, so I'm officially a New Yorker. Then I have a problem with that. No, you're not a New Yorker. You was born in fucking Wisconsin. That's what you are. Yes, you make New York your home. I get it. Understood. But another thing that I kind of agree with them is that, some New Yorkers, they take it to heart. A lot of New Yorkers that I know take it to heart, to a lot of people who, they're not from New York and they end up coming living here. But you know what, man? People just need to chill about that sometimes, because like I said, there are other people that come from other states and come to New York and do a better job than a New Yorker. Yes, I agree on that too. But, it's like how can I say it? It's like it's like a double-edged sword, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think, and like, so I'm the example of a Peter, right? Like I didn't grow up in New York, but been in New York, been running the streets of New York since I say 16. I mean, I came early when I was a kid. But as far as like me solo moving around and just, when I was a DJ buying records and going back down south to do parties for the New York, New Jersey connection and all those types of things. And I know I've been challenged before because, even with rapfabulous or those types of things, you might get checked for like, well, what did you do for the culture where you came, where you came from and blah, 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 blah. Not knowing, I ran with Terror Squad. I've been with Kim. I've been in the business. I produce tracks. I've done all the types of things that I think sometimes when people disconnect is the culture just New York? Is the culture, and it should be open wide? I think that's the bigger conversation because sometimes it could be that scenario. Maybe I'm looking at it from a different lens, but I think, you can't, if you're not from New York, there's to your point, I was telling Lou, I was talking to him, I was like, no, my high school didn't have a PS before it, right? Like those are things that a New Yorker would understand that the rest of the country wouldn't, right? So that's how I look at it. But that's how I just wanted to make sure. I was just trying to get a sense of someone from New York, how they viewed it. And you're right, it's kind of an interesting piece. And then I was trying to think.
But then you got also people that will be born in New York and moved to Orlando when they was 2 years old. And lived out there for their whole life. Do you consider still saying you're from New York because you was born there, but you bounced when you was like
Yeah.
one?
I think if you was born in New York, you stamped you a New Yorker. I feel like coming from Jersey.
Right. Your birth certificate is stamped.
Good point.
He's going to call it out. You're not from New York.
Your birth certificate is stamped.
Your birth certificate is stamped, but everybody wants to be a New Yorker. New York is a city of opportunity.
Yeah, but I don't consider that because you know why? Because your whole life you grew up and you was born and raised, went to school and did everything in Orlando. Yeah, you was born in New York. You might have you was born with the Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, whatever. When you came out of that womb, you smelled that New York air. But you don't
have the culture. You don't got the culture in the New York state of mind.
You wasn't in that New York state of mind.
So, hold on, Lou. So let me flip it. I got a question for you. And maybe that's it, right? Like my daughters were born in Roosevelt, in the city, but they grew up in Jersey. So they claim Jersey girls, but they were born in Roosevelt, right? Now, question for you, which I found interesting because I realized like I moved around a lot. This is the longest, I claim Jersey. It's the longest I ever lived in my entire life in one place. So it becomes interesting, like, do you take the first part or the end part? Like, can you claim a place if you've been there long enough? Because you pick.
I mean, I think you could claim it like the only way you could probably claim it if you went there since an infant.
There you go. So the code is infant to high school. That's
because you gotta go through it. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the code rule.
I live in Jersey, but I rep Brooklyn to the day I die, and I could do that because I was born in Brooklyn. I was raised in Brooklyn. I know the streets of Brooklyn. I know every corner of every neighborhood in Brooklyn. You know, I could tell you from the pizzerias to the freaking sneaker stores, and I could tell you what's on the land before the Barclay was even built. That's how Brooklyn I am. You know? But like I said, if somebody else comes from somewhere else and does the better job and has been in New York, as long as he doesn't say, yeah, I'm from New York, no.
You're not going for it, Lou.
I'm not, no. That I don't go for. But if you say, yo, yeah, I'm from Wisconsin, but I was, you know, I lived in New York, man, and then blah, blah.
New York sensibilities. Then you can say you got New York sensibilities. We need to think of a phrase like, yeah, you got New York sensibilities, but you're not from New York. So rule is if you're not born, no, you can't even say born. You got to be, what do you say? Raised from youth to high school. That's what solidifies it. That's that's the rule.
Yep, there you go. You know what I'm saying?
We clarified it because I think that's where the argument came of.
Yes. And shout out to my brother Rosenberg. Do I feel like he still needs to be on radio? Yes, I'll say it.
Yeah. I mean, he's put in the work. I mean, Rosenberg is a true culture person when you put it in perspective. Because I mean, that's what Cypher said, right? I was trying to find Cypher's Graham when he came back at him and said exactly what you said. You gotta, if you didn't live it during this time, how you moved through the trains and all the things that someone that grew up in the city in whatever borough. But you know what's funny though, because you know I always laugh because you know I used to come in the city and I go, everybody still discounts Staten Island, but that's a whole nother story. I don't know why. You don't get, no one gets Staten
Island. And they discount Yonkers too. Because I moved to Yonkers for like 2 years. And they're like, you don't live in New York. I thought I lived in New York. I'm like, I live in New York now. They're like, that's not New York. I'm like, Yonkers is New York. It's not the 5 boroughs. So what's up? Yonkers is not New York, y'all?
Listen. It's like this, man. The 5 boroughs is New York City. Everything else outside is just New York.
But you couldn't tell me that. I just knew I was a New Yorker, but everybody was like, Yonkers is in New York? I'm like, oh.
Nah, you was in Yonkers.
I know now.
We know. Is 5 borough lockdown from youth to high school. That's the pretty loose substantiation, and
that people, Staten Island does count.
Well, I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying you know it gets you throw out Staten Island.
Want to say no, it's only 4 boroughs. No, there is a 5th borough.
All right. So we're gonna keep it moving. Another Scandinagram. This one's pretty quick. Mero, big shout out to him for his new seat at the Hot 97 morning show. And I don't even know all the things, but you know, I'm gonna play it real quick because you know that's the culture, and you know some things happen. But you know, he went off on academics, but I'm gonna play a bit of it. See if I can get it popping. Hold on.
Because like I said, I'm a father of 4, but there's a lot of sons out there that are not mine. I don't claim you. You're not on my taxes. You're not a dependent, bro, but you depend on me to survive. Because if you don't say my name out your stupid fat mouth, you got no motion. You are net negative to hip-hop culture. You are net negative to society, gang. You know what's the saddest thing in the world? Sitting in your mother's basement, getting drunk, of alcohol that she probably bought at Costco and talking crazy about any and anybody who matters more than you. Guess what, fam? Everything I've ever done in my entire career has been culturally relevant. You understand what I'm saying? I'm up here high 97 because you know what we do up here? We move culture. We make culture up here. We make culture. We don't just talk about it. All right, fam? And that's what you do. You a gossiper. You a diabetic page out of the New York Post. You fat hamster. And then people want to get on it. Social media and ask me, but is he lying? Yes, he is. You wish you could be me. That's what burns you up inside. You wish you could be us. Hey, Jay's giving me to wrap it up, so I'm going to wrap it up on this. If you see me outside, put your head down and look at your shoelaces, all right? Mind the Mero.
Wait, not the Costco alcohol, not your mom's Costco alcohol. That one took me
I
out.
didn't even know Costco sold alcohol. They don't
They
sell
do.
alcohol.
They do.
I must
They
be going
serve
to New
alcohol,
York.
but it would be like the last choice.
I don't know Mero like that, but I'm about to freaking DM him and ask him what Costco he go to.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. They sell alcohol because the one out in Jersey's I don't see them. Maybe in the ones
They do. They serve it in Jersey.
they do.
Not in my
Route
part of Jersey.
17. Route 17.
Okay.
She even said the root and
You
everything.
know it. Okay, she doesn't know. Well, I don't know what happened. I think academics went off, and then Mero had a right. You know, I do feel academics gets. You know, I mean, look, his job is to do what he does, right? We agree. I mean, he's. Is he a vulture in it?
I mean, he just, I don't know the dude.
He's opinionated.
I
Very
don't know.
opinionated.
I don't know him, but every time I hear about him, it's always something negative.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm not gonna sit here and talk about a dude that I don't know about. You know,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, I'm not talking about it. I'm just saying I'm with you is usually controversial in what he
right.
said.
It's always something negative. I mean, I keep it real. I never heard anything positive about him. I mean, listen, like I said, I don't know the guy. If he even see this or hears it from me, I don't know you. I can't talk about you, but every time I do hear about you, there's always something negative. So, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever's going on between. Listen, man, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm just like Mero say, he's a grown adult, right? Well, be grown adult, man. Just man, yo, Mero, just concentrate on your morning show.
I'm with you. I think at this juncture, I mean, I think that we've always had things happen and everybody can go back and forth, but even with Fabulous is all about how can we push the culture forward and keep on moving. And we're not going to talk about it on this show. I wish I brought it up, but the Jay-Z interview that just came out on GQ, one of the things I've always respected with Jay.
It's very, very good.
Yeah, and the thing to keep up with him is if you look at Jay, he's always stayed above the fray. I mean, the Nas Jay-Z was the last battle, if you want to call it.
Like real battle?
I think it was the real battle, but even then it was almost a professional battle. It was code. The street code was still in effect.
Yeah, he mentioned that. He mentioned that in the interview about him and Nas's battle.
Yeah, and so and they understood it was that kind of battle. And after that, to me, Jay just went on to a whole nother atmosphere where I'm not even checking for what's happening. I'm going to keep it moving and keep him and make my. You know what it is? He made his lane, and no one can come in his lane. Everybody that's tried to come in his lane.
Oh, definitely nobody could be. No, let me get this correct. He made a lane that you would never enter. None of us.
No, he made his own lane. That's to your point. He made his own lane.
He made a lane that he just announced a concert, and 24 hours later, after when the tickets went on sale, they were sold out.
Well, let's talk about that.
Put an extra date and sold out. I'm sorry, but nobody could sell out a concert like that in what, minutes?
Yeah, it was I think when he announced
like millions waiting.
A million waiting. And right now, I mean, tickets are I think looking, pulling it up right now.
You mean resale?
Resale, because there's no more tickets.
Yeah, it's sold out. So resale is probably going for about, let's just say, a cost of a down payment for a car.
No, the 4 tickets resale are $5,000 per ticket right now.
That's a down payment for a car.
So that this row right here is all 4 or 5.
That's a family vacation.
Yeah.
That's my mortgage.
And then the other zones, the 100s. Oh, here we go. I had to pull it up. So yeah, so even tickets right here are what? These are $1,000 for level 200.
Nah,
but that's a legend. That's a legendary artist. That right there, that's legendary. When
but
you
my
can just
pockets ain't legendary.
No, I mean, I will say this, and I say this sincerely, because I was talking to some people, and maybe he's going to do it. I hope that Rock Nation or Jay set aside some tickets for the regular folks. And it may not happen, but there's a lot of people who can't, especially in this economy, can't afford these tickets. And I'm hoping that maybe, and I'm sure maybe they are doing it, but I hope that there's a set number of tickets that they can figure out, or they're giving to people that can't afford it. That's all I got to say to that. It's not disrespecting Jay. I mean, I have my own opinions. Live Nation's their business. They're there to make as much money as they can make. Right?
I mean, ain't no disrespect or anything. It's just, you gotta understand, man, right now, the world and the economy and everything, like, understand that gas price is $3.75 right now. And
you got one of them big bodies. I'm an electric.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
me up.
do I go see Ho, or should I get gas? But if I don't get gas, I still can't go see Ho.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna go see Hov and drive and take a break from driving for a week.
So you're gonna go to the show?
I want to go to the show. I want to be at the show. Yes.
You got the tickets already?
No, I was making a joke. I said I'm gonna go without the gas. Like that went over your head.
I was about to say, word, you got the tickets that you didn't tell us?
No, I said I'm gonna go without gas. I'm going to the show because I thought we were saying, what would you do? You know?
She said, yeah, I'll get gas.
Yeah, I
love you, Ho. You're my idol. But
no, that's a hard one. I mean,
I got to go to the Jay-Z concert.
I mean, think about it. There's people that's literally going to make a decision. I'm not going to pay my mortgage. I'm not going to pay my car note.
I'm not going to pay my rent. I'm not going to feed my kids.
Now, that's the rich and wealthy concert right there. For the rich and wealthy. So
that's all I'm saying. I'm hoping that they do something. I haven't heard anything. I know people that are having conversations are trying to have conversations about that, and hopefully they do that, because I will I will say, think about it. This would not have happened without people on the block. And at that time when he came through, they didn't have it, right? And so,
well, I think Jay has a good heart, and I think he'll do
it. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just hoping.
No. I'm just saying, just to put it out there, I think he has a great heart. And
how much are the seats right here, Mike? All the way into the nosebleeds. How much are those going for?
half a band. Look, half a band at the top.
Yo, Angel is like, yo, Mike, I got the ticket price for me on this side. Let me take advantage of Mike right
I want to hear Real Family Go Hard. Go Hard. I just need to hear some Jay-Z. Those are the legendary songs. Jay-Z is a legendary artist. It's a legendary concert. To be able to sell out that fast is legendary. You know? They coughed that money up. If he sold out that once, they coughed that money up from somewhere.
Hold on, let me check. I'm gonna check real quick.
A lot of sugar daddies out there.
A lot of sugar daddies, a lot of income tax money.
Nah, that's gone already.
I'm not mad. He planned it perfectly. I mean, he's on a whole nother level of thought. I'm gonna drop the announcement right before taxes come in.
Yeah, you know what? Good marketing.
But yeah,
landlords, the rent's gonna be late, landlords.
Yeah, that the month of June. What is that? What month is that? July. There's gonna be a lot of late.
No, the month of now until July.
Right. I forgot. April.
The fact that the nosebleeds are on no less than
Half a
500.
band for the nosebleed, and if you want
Oh
to get
God.
anywhere close, you're dropping a band. Dropping a band.
Wow.
But you know that I'm not mad. Look,
But listen, I just want to clarify something to get back to the subject of Mero, man. Yo, Mero, shout out to you, man. I congratulate you on this morning show, man. And I heard you're doing very good in your numbers. So shout out to Mero. I wanted to put that out there.
yeah, definitely. All right, like I said, it's a quick pull up. I do want to do some quick birthday shouts for this week. MC Hammer, March 30th, 64.
What?
Yo, do you still think he has those pants?
Yeah, I do.
Of course.
I do.
I would like to see him do the dance in his videos at 64.
Is he? You know what? I don't even know is he still like touring? Because you know, like some people. I'm gonna look that. We'll look that up.
Yeah, pull him up.
Happy birthday to Mr. Cheeks, March 28th.
My brother, Mr.
Oh, that's
birthday.
the Lost Boyz.
Tony Yayo, March 31st.
Shout out to my brother Yayo.
And Lil Keke, March 29th.
Okay.
And then some quick anniversaries. I just want to run through The Coming. Busta Rhymes came out in 96, 30 years ago. Just seems like yesterday for us OGs or uncles or whatever you want to call us. Eazy-E passed away March 26th.
Yep.
That was 31. Died from AIDS, if you don't remember that, or if you weren't in that era. But the AIDS era was crazy. When it came out, yeah, and when it announced that he had AIDS, it shocked everybody because everybody at that time just applied AIDS to gays and didn't think, no, it's
exactly
that kind of disease. And that's when everybody woke up and was like, whoa, this is real. Beyond the gay community when he passed away March 26th. So that was that. And then what I got? Busta Rhymes, Woo-Ha came out in 96, March 26th. So I just want to give some shout outs to all those legendary days. And before we get out of here, because I'm going to take my daughter off, there is this one thing that happened on the gram that we got to play. Some guy did a skit that seems to be popping up everywhere. So here we go.
I be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new whip. Same old attitude, but I'm on that new shit. They say they gon' ride me.
I know that guy. That's the biggest figure in New York.
Getting shout outs already. And then she just
Yo, so how did that come about real quick?
So shout out to the people at Levels, man. I'm gonna be their resident MC. I'm gonna be like their face for social media. And they wanted me to do videos. So me and the videographer guy, shout out to my brother Flo. We came up with he came up with a concept of how, what people really think a celebrity DJ, how he walks in to real life, how we really walk in. And just,
I like that.
We did it for
That's some good insight right there.
Right.
That's good insight.
Promote the club so people could, what we're trying to do is try to bring the nightlife back, to the nightlife, when it was fun, and trying to make people come out and have a great time, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do little skits so people could be like, oh shoot, you know what, man, I want to check that out myself, And
get that motion over there.
Some people forgot
Get that motion over at Levels.
Yeah, and some people don't remember that vibe, but I was like, I saw it earlier. I was like, okay, he's moving numbers again on the gram. So big.
Well, yeah, right, and I didn't know that it was gonna be viral. Actually going viral again.
Yo, you know what it reminded me of? So I used to work at Def Jam, and if you know the story of Def Jam, there was a time that there were times when Def Jam had these parties, and it was like some of the biggest parties in the city. I worked at Def Jam, and there were times I couldn't even get in my own parties. That's what it reminded me of. I remember going,
That's
I
crazy.
had ID, I got, it was because it would be, by the time I get there, it might be fire codes or whatever, but it would still be that, to your point, to security. Shout out to security, because rule number one in any club, any scenario, if you're new to it, if you know security, you're good. You just gotta learn. You gotta bake the security into that to get in. Angel, I'm sure you knew mad security. I had this gut feeling, Angel, you probably was like one of them who knew security by name.
Yeah, you gotta know the security you want to get in, especially in back to what we saying in New York City. You gotta be able to maneuver that.
Yeah.
But Lou, what day is levels? What nights? What's the night?
Friday, Saturday nights.
Friday and Saturdays. Okay.
Friday and Saturday nights, you can come to levels. It's Astoria, Queens as well. Everything is in Astoria, Queens. So
I know, right?
Everything.
All right, so this quick pull up. I got to get out of here because I got to get my daughter. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Where can they follow you, Pretty Lou? Where can they follow you, Angel Face?
I am underscore Angel Face.
Go ahead, Angel, keep going.
Ladies first, I'm finished. I am underscore Angel Face.
All right. And you can follow me at Pretty Lou 11, PRETTYLOU, the number 11. And make sure you catch me this Friday on Sirius XM Hip Hop Nation, 12 a.m. on the closer show, as I got Mike Will Made It on my show.
Oh, that's big. That's big. And you're gonna put out an interview on that too, right? Are you doing that? All right, so we make sure we promote that. And then, like I said, if you're in any of the cities, Rap Fabulous, go to rapfabulous.com, sign up to find out where and when we play in your show. We're going to have them on the show again.
Yep.
And that's it. I got to bounce. Happy birthday to my gorgeous...
You can download the Odyssey app, too, if you miss it.
Yeah. Odyssey app, all that. Or follow us across all social Rap Fabulous. We make sure that we link you up so you know how to listen to it wherever you are. But like I said, hit that subscribe button. Pull up number, episode 2 is going to get better. And that's it. I got to get out of here. I got birthdays. I got things to do. Angel Face, Pretty Lou. Good seeing y'all. And we'll do it again. I don't know. I got to go to Chicago this week. We might have to skip one more week. We're going to get on a regular, but I got to jump on a flight tomorrow. So might have to do this 2 weeks from now. Cool?
Cool.
Yes, I'm with it.
All right, everybody. Rap Fabulous. Thank you. And we out.
Let's take a sec to think back like this.
This is how we take the old from the new. The new to the old.
Rap is something you do. Hip hop is something you live.
Rap fabulous.
What, huh?
Did I start?
To the hip, the hop, you don't stop.
Rap fabulous.
With the real hip hop.